Hello, you're watching Movie Night. It's Albert here, and today it's a movie night first, as instead of the standard review that I would usually do, I'm bringing you a list, and it's my top 5 favourite Ryan Gosling performances. Now, the kind of proviso I have to say is that I've not seen every film Ryan Gosling's ever been in, so obviously I'm just judging it on the films that I have seen. But what I have seen, I've been very impressed with. I think he's a really talented actor, and he's really good in the films that I've certainly seen him in. Apparently later this year he's going to be appearing in a film about the life of Neil Armstrong. Should be interesting. That's apparently coming out later this year, so I'll have to keep an eye out for that. But without further ado, let's go straight into the list. And at number 5, we have The Ides of March. Now, The Ides of March is an interesting film. It's been reviewed before on this channel, so I would recommend you go check out that review to see what I think. But I was very praising of Ryan Gosling's performance in that, as I would now. He plays an advisor to a potential presidential candidate, who's played by George Clooney, who also directs the film. And it follows him just throughout the sort of twists and turns of the plot. And at the centre of all of this is a really very strong performance by Gosling. And as a result, I think it certainly deserves its place at number 5 on this list. Now at number four is Drive. Now Drive is a very interesting film, and I think it sort of, when it first came out, it certainly divided opinion amongst people who either loved it or they hated it. Now I would be more towards a love end spectrum of that. I really liked it. I think it's slightly aware of its kind of own stylishness in a way, but I think that it does work in its favour. It's also pretty violent, which is worth bearing in mind. Again, I quite enjoyed that, but some people wouldn't like it. But whether you love it or you hate it, at its heart is a really, really strong performance by Gosling as the unnamed driver. And I think one of Gosling's really great strengths as an actor is he's able to say a lot without saying much at all. In a way, he can say a lot with his face, and that's certainly true in this film. In Drive, he says very little, but when he does, it's very effective. And when he's not speaking, he uses his kind of emotions and face to great skill. Now, at number 3 is The Nice Guys. Now, The Nice Guys is an interesting film. It's on here as it shows off another part of Gosling's talent, which is actually that he's a very funny comic actor, which you would not necessarily think. But in The Nice Guys, Gosling plays a PI called Holland March, who has to team up with Russell Crowe's character in order to solve a murder. Russell Crowe is also very good in this, but it's a really very funny film. Some really amusing set pieces, some good action. So I would definitely recommend that, and I think Gosling should be really pleased with his very amusing performance in that. So at number 2, we have Blade Runner 2049. Now, Blade Runner 2049 is 163 minutes long, and throughout most of that, Gosling's in almost every scene, and he really draws the eye throughout this. It's the same as I said in Drive, that is great. He has this great strength and ability to say a lot without saying much at all, and the performance in this film is really good. I don't think this is a perfect film, actually, Blade Runner 2049. It's not my favourite film I've ever seen. I did enjoy it, but I think certainly one of my favourite aspects about it was Ryan Gosling's performance, which was really strong. But we come to the number 1 spot, which for me has to go to La La Land. Now, I really like La La Land. I think it's a classic kind of entertainment fest. It's a treat. It's a kind of audio-visual treat. It's fun. It's got some great music in, and it's just a kind of fun and interesting story. I think part of the why I find it really enjoyable is Gosling's Oscar-nominated turn as jazz lover Sebastian, one of the main protagonists, obviously alongside Emma Stone, who did win an Oscar. I know La La Land subsequently has been known for the whole Oscar fiasco last year, but if you ignore all that, it actually is still a really, really good, fun, interesting film, a real gem of a film, and probably, and certainly my favourite Ryan Gosling performance. Now, do you agree with the choices that I've made today? We had 5 Ides of March, 4 Drive, 3 The Nice Guys, 2 Blade Runner 2049, and 1 La La Land. you agree with that, please let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.